Maz, I'm super excited about today's tasting.
Me too. Absolutely looking forward to it.
I haven't had this cigar in a really long time.
I have to say, I can't remember the last time I had it, but I love this cigar. Today, we're smoking the crown jewel of the Oliva portfolio, Monticello. You ready to get into it?
I am.
Let's go.
All right.
So I see you're using the straight cut?
Yeah, I prefer a straight cut on pretty much all my cigars. I
know-
just like more of an open draw.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed though, like anytime, because I prefer what a shaped cigar, I've subscribers know this, I've said it many times over the years. I fall in love with a V cut when it comes to shaped cigars. And every time I offer you one, you're always like, no, I'm good. And I notice you do straight cut it. But your theory, which is a true theory, obviously there's more surface area, so it will be more smoke. I just prefer to keep the shape the way it was intended. With a cigar like of this caliber, this beautiful, this Monticello, I don't want to run the risk of actually cutting it too deep, and especially smoking a torpedo, and it's going to unravel on me, right? I don't want that to happen. So a foolproof way for me for a shaped version is going to be with a V cut.
All right, well, let's fire them up.
I'm in.
All right.
You want to go first?
I will.
Here you go, bud.
Thank you.
Oh, you. How good is that?
That's a fantastic blend.
It's an excellent cigar. It's very fitting because, Oliva has a history in the industry of producing phenomenal cigars. Former #1 cigar of the year in the Melania Series V, the Figurado, the original Series V, outstanding ratings through the years in Cigar Aficionado. And the Monticello is no exception. It fits in there, but on the upper echelon, right? In my opinion, it's the most refined and exclusive blend that they have. When you think about it, it's rarer to find, hard to come by. But the flavor profile, before we get into the exact flavor profile, I think it was definitely worth mentioning that, it stands apart in a phenomenal portfolio already.
Yeah.
When you think about the ratings over the years and what Oliva brings to the table, and for this to be, the upper echelon of that, I think it's outstanding. I mean, it's a small batch project. It's all handcrafted in Esteli in Nicaragua of 100% Nicaraguan tobaccos. And Oliva uses some of its oldest and best tobaccos for this blend.
Yeah.
So, there was a lot of attention to detail when it came to coming up with this blend. Age of tobacco, quality of tobacco. It had to obviously stand above what they've already done.
Right.
And I have to say, they definitely hit their mark with the Monticello.
Absolutely. And I love the V series. I love all their stuff in their portfolio. But this particular cigar here happens to be, a nice treat. Like you said, it's so refined.
Yep.
A lot of attention to detail.
For sure. When you do something that's small batch and when you deal with a factory like Oliva, it's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. I mean, I even like the shape. I mean, we're smoking the torpedo variation, but I like it's like an oval press a little bit. There's a press to the cigar. It's a very unique shape. The draw is like effortless, but there's a little bit of firmness to it, so the cigar doesn't burn hot.
Yep.
And I've smoked through all the different formats and different sizes. And by the way, speaking of different sizes, the packaging is outstanding on this Monticello. White lacquer boxes. I mean, this beautiful, like, you can look at the band with the M on there. Typically you're used to seeing the V.
Right.
The way it's just packaged and presented, it has this regal, sense to it. It has this regal vibe to it.
Yeah, they definitely did a superb job on the packaging and the blending.
Well, and then you think about it, you really need to do that. When you're going to have an offering that's more of a small batch, exclusive blend that's on the upper echelon, you need to have it match the packaging too. You have to. Both have to be the same because we all smoke with our eyes.
Right.
And I think there's no mistaking it. When you look at the Monticello, you look at the packaging, you look at the box, it makes you want to smoke that cigar, and it speaks of class and quality. You know, and that's fully incorporated when you're talking about this Monticello. I mean, it checks all the boxes. And you know, I said we were going to put it on the back burner a little bit, tasting notes. Well, let's get into the tasting notes a little bit now.
Sure.
So, what are you getting out of the cigar?
So I'm getting a lot of cinnamon, a lot of cocoa, and a lot of coffee.
Check, check, check.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
I mean, for me, the cinnamon note is prominent.
Yeah.
I'm getting a heavy dose of cinnamon. You know, coffee and chocolate
Yeah.
coming through.
Yeah. Do you ever put like a dose of like cinnamon in your coffee?
Never did it.
So I've done that occasionally. I don't do it a lot because, you know, I like unadulterated black coffee. But occasionally I'll put some cinnamon in my coffee, like especially in wintertime.
Yeah.
That's what this tastes like. Coffee is shining through. There's cinnamon there. It's, you know, and that's the spice I'm getting from it. Even though the cigar, people will taste it and say, oh, it has some spice to it. It's specifically that baking spice that we talk about.
Right.
To me, it's not a black pepper note, but it tastes like coffee and cinnamon combined. And there is cocoa there. And there's also, which is very indicative of tobacco from Nicaragua, there's nuts there. There's a nuttiness to it. Like, and specifically, like, which I love, cashew. It's got that cashew note to it.
I'm not picking up on the nuts yet. I mean, obviously we're only,
No, I know.
we just started. But
No, and that's kind of in the background right now. I think for people out there, if they spark this cigar, I think the notes that will jump out at them, if there's going to be any notes that jump out at them, it's going to be coffee and cinnamon.
Right. No, I agree.
And maybe cinnamon might come first because that was the first tasting note out of your mouth.
Well, for me, the cinnamon came first.
Oh yeah, I mean it's there. I mean to me, I taste it. It's unmistakable. But and a lot of times that's not the driving note in a cigar,
Yeah.
which this makes the cigar unique. It really does have that cinnamon note to it, which I really enjoy.
I mean, it's burning beautifully. It's got a nice ash.
Yeah, I mean I just ash because I don't want ash on my suit. Which, by the way, you think we like the ensemble?
Looks good.
We both have. By the way, we didn't plan this.
Right, we both did the purple.
Well, I mean we're smoking a Regal cigar.
Or lavender.
Lavender, purple, violet. There's a lot of ways, right, to describe.
My favorite color, by the way.
What's that? Purple?
Purple.
I like it. I like it. I don't know about my favorite, but that's for another video for another day.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave people in suspense. But if you watch enough of our videos, I might include you in what's my favorite color. I wear it quite often as an accent color. So anyway, that's your hint. But we didn't plan it. As a matter of fact, Mike saw us today. He was like, "Did you guys coordinate that?" I was like, "No." But it's very fitting. We're doing a cigar upper echelon, high caliber. We have Regal colors on, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I asked just not to get it all over myself. And in sticking with that upper echelon, we decided we're going to go with Blanton's Bourbon today as a pairing.
Good choice.
I didn't want to miss. We checked all the boxes already with the cigar from Oliva.
This is tough to find, by the way.
I know it's tough to find. Well, so is this.
Yeah.
You know, it's an exclusive blend.
Yep.
It's very, very it's hard to come by. And again, we're talking about the cigar being a high caliber quality. The packaging had to match that. And now that we have that out of the way, now we have to match it with a spirit. So we could just go with, another bourbon, which we're fans of a lot of different bourbons. But I thought it would be very fitting to go with Blanton's because in recent years, it's been extremely hard to come by. And
you can't find that on the shelf anywhere.
I know it's one of your favorites.
It's a good one.
You like
I
it.
like it, yeah.
I mean, I know you're a big horse fan. You're in the horse game. You love the ponies.
Love them.
Yeah, you're not a big bettor anymore now, right?
No,
just the big races.
Yeah.
Right? The Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont, right?
I mean, I'll dabble in a little bit, but
yeah. But you're big
I
on the
pulled
ponies.
the reins back.
Yeah, you pulled the reins back? Oh, I like how you worked that in.
No pun intended.
I like how you worked in the conversation. Maybe down the line we got to work it in. We got to do like a Derby video.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, it's coming up.
Well,
so.
by the way, smoking cigars and the Derby
They go hand in hand.
Yeah. It's mint julep, programming.
Don't forget the hat.
Well, of course.
I'm gonna wear a nice hat when we do our video.
All right.
All right.
You got it. Yeah. So, all right, hat, mint julep in hand.
Yes.
The program rolled up because your nerves are bad.
Oh yeah.
And then a fine cigar, right? And then a
cigar.
fine cigar. Maybe the Monticello. Maybe it'll bring us good luck.
We'll see.
All right? But by the way, I'm really looking forward to getting this Blanton.
Yeah, me too.
You want to do the honors?
I will.
You've been pouring, and guess what? It's been working.
All right.
Yeah, we're doing well. The videos are going well.
Yeah.
Our guest of cigars been going well. We want to keep this mojo going.
All right.
And plus, I don't feel like pouring with my left hand.
Yeah,
It kind of
yeah.
looks weird. I'm right-handed.
Right.
So
No, I'll do it for you.
do it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's let it go.
All right.
It's Blanton's time, baby. Man, it never disappoints.
No, it doesn't.
Right? And hits the spot for cigar. By the way, we talked about tasting notes. We talked about, refined aged tobacco, exclusivity, rare tobacco. We didn't talk about strength. Where do you put the Monticello when it comes to strength?
All right.
Before we get into the pairing.
I think it's medium full, definitely.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's a cigar that definitely creeps on you a little bit.
Yeah, it'll get you.
Well, I think with any aged tobacco, we've talked about like how you could taste age on a cigar. Like there's aged tobacco in the cigar, and with age comes refinement.
Oh yeah, it's one of the smoothest cigars I've smoked in a while.
I always say that's the great balance. When you have depth of flavor and smooth notes, like it's just smooth on the palate, that's magic, right? But I think that, medium to full really defines the cigar because it is a creeper. Because with aged tobacco, when you first light it, and even the first maybe third, it comes off a little milder than it's going to end. And I think that's indicative of any aged product, for sure. But right now, as I'm kind of halfway through the cigar, it's picked up in strength. But medium to full definitely puts it where I think it fits, right?
Yep.
And then when you talk about pairing it with an outstanding, and at this point, iconic bourbon like Blanton's, I think the combo and the pairing is really good.
It definitely plays well with the cigar.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because you think about coffee and cinnamon, right? Brown sugar, maple. That's a hell of a combination,
combo.
right?
Yeah, it's a
We're
good
talking
combo.
about rare tobaccos, rare bourbon. I mean, I might want to just stay here for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
You're sitting by the fireplace, right?
Yeah.
But that's the other thing too. I know cigars and spirits aren't necessarily seasonal per se, but this is a great
This is a good fall combo.
fall into winter. Winter, right?
Yeah.
How great is this as a combo? It just
you
warms
got
you.
you got that blast of cinnamon from this,
It tastes like post Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Right? All those flavors of cinnamon, nutmeg.
Yep.
Right? Maybe a little molasses, burnt sugar. Those are good stuff, man.
It is.
They're all my favorite. When I think about nostalgic notes of smell and taste, they're some of my favorites in the world.
yeah.
In the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's all in one little neat package of Blanton's and Monticello. I mean, that's hard to do. And you're talking about the caliber of cigar and Oliva and their family of cigars. Former #1 cigar of the year, always outstanding ratings. You talk about Blanton's from a bourbon perspective. I mean, we got it pretty good here.
Yeah, you did again another great job, another good pairing.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorites to date, pairing-wise,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'd have to agree.
It is pretty rock solid.
Yeah, this is a rock solid pairing. The cigar's phenomenal. It goes great with the bourbon.
So I have a question for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm asking for myself,
Yeah.
I'm asking for our subscribers. What else do you think would pair well with the Monticello, aside from, bourbon?
I think the cigar can go with many different liquors. I mean, brown liquors, I should say.
I agree.
Whether it be Scotch, Japanese whiskey, or even cognac.
Well, what's funny? That's where my head went. When I think about other spirits, and I agree with you, it's in that realm because warm flavors. I like cognac with a cigar like this because it has those really nice kind of sweet notes.
Right.
Right, and it's a warming. When you think about cognac, you're sitting by a fireplace.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I never warm my cognac. Like I know some people kind of warm it with a light. That's not my thing. I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to take away from it.
Just pour it and drink it.
Just pour it and drink it. But anyway, cognac and this cigar, the Monticello, would go extremely well together. As a matter of fact, if I had to choose a secondary pairing that we did, like we did today, instead of the Blantons, I would probably pick a nice elevated cognac, something that would go really well with it. You know, but
That would work well.
I agree, and as much as you know, and our subscribers know, I'm a big sipping tequila fan.
Right.
I don't think this is the pairing for that. And people are like, well, explain. Like, I don't know. Just this, when the leading note is cinnamon with a cigar and coffee and cashew and cocoa, I'm not thinking necessarily sipping tequila, especially goes to that cinnamon note. Then I'm thinking warm, round flavors, you know what I mean? A little spice, a little sweetness. I'm thinking bourbon, I'm thinking cognac for sure. And then you could play around with scotch and Japanese whiskey, which you know I'm a big fan of both. But it's for the person out there. I just wanted to ask you because, you know, some people just are not bourbon fans per se.
Right. Well, I don't really do much of cognac, so that's another spirit that I have to get more familiar with when it comes to, you know, drinking and cigars.
Right, and we've talked about it before. That was like one of the original pairings when
back in the day.
The cigar boom hit in the late 90s. It was port, remember? Port. Yeah, ruby port.
Cognac.
Right? Tawny ports and cognac.
Right.
Every other, you know, ad was for, you know, cognac and cigars. You go to the Big Smoke back in the day. Cognac, cigars.
Yeah, bourbon wasn't even a thing.
Well, and when you think about it, it really does match up really well, especially when you get a cigar that has a little bit of cinnamon spice, that spice factor, and it kind of like contrasts the sweetness of a cognac. But also bourbon brings that to the table in a more intense version, because bourbon brings sweetness, but there are bolder sweet flavors.
Yeah.
You know, molasses, right? That's a big kind of rich sweetness. So they both have that in common, to cut kind of that cinnamon note, you know. But I think you nailed it when you said the cognac. I really like that because I was actually thinking that, and then you hit it anyway. So well done by you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So you enjoyed it,
I am definitely enjoying it.
right? Phenomenal.
I don't want it to end, actually.
I don't want it to end either. But you know, everything comes to an end.
Yeah.
Right.
All good things come to an end.
All good things come to an end. My parents always used to say it to me. I used to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, all good things come to an end.
No, well, yeah, that was my line, but you grabbed it.
No, you say it again, and I'll reiterate it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all good things come to an end.
Even our videos.
Even our videos.
All right. Well, if I have to, I want to thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. But before we depart, make sure you hit that like button.
Smash the subscribe button,
And we'll see you here next time.
Salute.
Salute, brother.